URFM News for our sponsor, Cartier Jewellery. Always unique, always quality. Toronto Town Square.
It's 2 o'clock. Good afternoon. I'm Thandi Chindove with 2NURFM Hunter News. A 21-year-old man has died following a crash in Erlington near Cessnock. At about 12:30 this morning, a passerby encountered the crash site on Lake Road and phoned 000. The man was found to have died once emergency services arrived, with officers remaining at the scene until 7 a.m. An investigation is underway into how the man lost control of his ute. The final stage of the Newcastle inner-city bypass has taken another step forward. The state government has today called for tenders for the concept design and environmental impact assessment of the 3.4-kilometre section, which includes an overpass at Newcastle Road, Jesmond. Roads Minister Duncan Gay says it's an important milestone in the project.
Planning to be completed by late 2016 with a start to happen hopefully then or early 2017 on this important missing link, something that Newcastle has waited for decades for.
Meanwhile, the contract for detailed design work on the Toyle Street Bridge duplication has been awarded to GHD Australia. A high-speed police pursuit in Charlestown has ended with a man facing charges for alleged gun possession. At about 2 this morning, officers in an unmarked car noticed a vehicle travelling at high speeds through the Madison Drive and Pacific Highway intersection. The 30-year-old driver and a female passenger were spoken to after the chase, where a gun was allegedly seized following a search of the vehicle. Newcastle Greens by-election candidate Michael Osborne is proposing a new solution to the city's infrastructure backlog, teaming up with the Hunter Development Corporation in support of a mine grouting plan. The plan would require the state government to provide around $50 million funding for grouting procedures needed to fill all unstable mines under the city's centre and west end so developments can proceed. He says he's raised the proposal at this afternoon's Hunter lunch.
It's a case of the state government stepping in and providing that funding to route not only the development site but neighbouring sites, and then to recoup the money from the developers, based on their land area. And I'm hoping that the idea of the revolving fund will get good feedback from the participants there at the luncheon today.
Lake Macquarie boaters are said to be barred from Wangi Wangi waters this weekend to allow for safe staging of planned water ski races. The event runs from 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. this Sunday, with the surrounding area to be marked by a series of buoys and central vessels. Marnie Proctor from Roads and Maritime Services says anyone wanting further information on the maritime safety procedures in place can visit the RMS website.
Roads and Maritime reminds people to wear a life jacket when boating, especially in vessels smaller than 4.8 metres, when alone, at night or offshore. If you'd like any more information about maritime safety, go to www.maritime.nsw.gov.au.
Hunter New England Health is urging Hunter residents to take precautions against mosquito bites. The warning comes after an increase in mosquito activity in the region, with the recent warm weather and rainfall resulting in excellent breeding conditions for mosquitoes spreading Ross River and Barmah Forest virus. Hunter New England Health physician Dr. David Durham says most people affected will have a mild illness lasting a few days.
If people are unfortunate enough to get Ross River or Barmah Forest virus, it develops largely like and feels like influenza, high fever, a headache, muscle aches. But then there can be a mild rash, and the prominent symptom is severe and often debilitating joint pain, which can last for weeks and in some.
The effects of fine particle pollution could be the next issue on the agenda for the Hunter, following calls for strict air quality regulation. Bearsfield was singled out as a particular problem area following the recent submission of the National Environment Protection Measure for Ambient Air Quality. Hunter Regional Coordinator for the Lock the Gate Alliance, Steve Phillips, says improved enforcement could help monitor mine operations.
What we're concerned about is two things particularly. One is not allowing rural communities to be left behind, and the other is enforcement. There's very little enforcement after these mines are approved. So there's not much point having increased regulation of air pollution unless you've got a very well-resourced EPA who can make sure that the coal mines are actually playing by the rules.
Currently on trial in Lake Macquarie Reserve, solar sausages are the new, even greener way of getting rid of weeds. The process involves rolling weeds in black plastic, which heat up and compost the contents, creating physical, chemical, and biological changes in the soil. Coal Point Progress Association President Suzanne Pritchard says the process not just benefits your garden, but the wildlife too.
If we pin the plastic over the top of the weed mound, it creates a lovely little microenvironment. We've had some lovely blue-tongue lizards taking up residence because they're nice warm areas, especially over winter. And so the wildlife are using the mounds as well as habitat.
Hunter-based Greater Building Society is paying tribute to its 800 staff after announcing a record profit result. Greater Building Society Chairman Wayne Russell attributed the result to hard work and dedication, which he said are vital for continuing benefits for the community. He says a review of the company's strategic plan is the next phase in providing the best for customers.
That's the next phase of our strategic plan, to continue to develop those and just so that we can provide good service for our members. We, as an organisation, rate very highly in terms of customer satisfaction.
In finance, the All Auss is down 77 points at 52.16 and $1 Australian dollar is buying 87.64 US cents. Now at sport, Belinda De Las Heras.
In only his second season at the Newcastle Knights, Beau Scott has been awarded Player of the Year at the club's presentation awards last night. Players' Player went to Kurt Gidley, while Robbie Rocco picked up Clubman of the Year. The Jets are in final preparations to face bitter rivals, the Central Coast Mariners, at Gosford tomorrow in the opening rounds of the A-League. Despite a protracted pre-season, Captain Q Yarlines says the team is ready and raring to go.
For me and the team, I think, we have to just start from scratch and start to go for the first 3 points. And I never look at the past, I look always to the future. And it's a chance for us to get 3 points away, so that's what we try to do.
And Newcastle's Marianne Monkton and Emma Nedov have wrapped up their events at the Gymnastics World Championships in China, with the Australian team finishing 7th overall. That's sport. I'm Belinda De Las Heras.
2NURFM News Time is 2:06.